Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it is Tuesday. It's June the 9th. This will be our chart lesson for today, and it was just another range day. A little bit large, a fairly large range from about say 2071 to about 2082. We actually traded as low as 2069 and as high as 2084, but most of the price action was contained within the highs of about 2082 and the lows of about 2071.50 or so. Early on, I was looking for the lows of the range down here, but we ended up bouncing and making a double bottom here and then bouncing there again. So it changed the range a little bit. But generally, you'll look for the highs and lows to be your critical spots in the beginning, and you can play that until something changes. And you can see I got a perfect midpoint here between the high and the low where we bounced a few times, turned down or turned up. So um, relatively straightforward day. Early on there was some decent trades going on as well. So pretty good trading day. Um, so let's back out just a hair and talk about the trades and move forward. First trade I saw was this morning. We had this range that, or this, I'm sorry, this trend that moved down, and we had a break, attempted a new low, and then we reversed up here early. But by the time I came in, we were correcting here back to and creating a trend line. And if you drew this line off this top and drug it down, it fit perfect here. And so you actually could find this lower one trend line off of the higher price action up here, and then we came back and tried to go lower. It looked like it was going to be a kind of a failed break higher. And it turns out to be kind of a little breakout pullback long, but it's also really this is actually just a little bit flatter here, like so. So let me change that. When you make it bigger, sometimes you can see you're off just a tad, but you can see that still fits real nicely on the top there, and you don't really get a close outside here. Even if you did, it didn't matter if you drew it a little steeper. It doesn't matter. You still get the same bounce here. Uh, you got a new high, first entry, pullback, second entry. It's a failed second entry short that I liked, and a nice bullish reversal bar, and everything closed inside that trend line. So I like going long there. You got to assume prices are moving, trying to come back to this high. So I like this one here. And you might have used a limit order here. Um, but either way, you could just use a stop if you wanted. But actually, there's actually two entries here. Let me go ahead and just put another. And you got another entry right there. You got that additional push lower. And you got a double bottom here. So you could treat this like a failed second entry short as well and go long right there. And it went lower first and then went out the high side. So I like that even better. Um, This was the first break, but I think you need to wait on a second entry here, and you really don't get one, and it pushes on up. I just don't like entering there, to be honest with you. I think it's too risky. Um, if you had a little better signal bar, if this would have broke higher and closed a little stronger, maybe. But I think you have to wait. And of course, you make a double top up here. It turns down. You get that. It goes. It looks like it's going to bounce off the EMA, and it kind of pushes on through. Then it breaks higher and turns. And look at that bearish bar. Went higher first. I would have said, hey, just have a stop there ready to go short if it would have went on through. But it didn't matter. It closed on its very low. So you can just go short with a stop right there. And man, that was the trade of the morning, really. The bottom just fell out of it. And it tries to go higher once, tries to go higher again. Um, so you get a second entry short right there. It's like a double top right there at the EMA. It is the first break of the of this little channel, but you figure prices at this point. I was looking for prices to come all the way down to here. Quick, easy move, and it actually backs up again and turns down. Um, I'm not as crazy about it there because you would have expected this to take on off. Um, so I don't think you want to enter there because you've got your break and your new low on that one tick there. And so when it went higher and if again it broke higher first, but if you could have got in and all in the same move, I would have said, hey, I like it a little better. Um, but you got to be careful after this break and then bouncing there twice, 2 bars in a row. You don't want to go long there, um, but you need a better setup than that. And you actually try to go lower again and it bounces, and then you get a second entry short here, but the signal bar is terrible. So just sit tight on this one. But when it fails and you get that failed second entry short there and that big reversal bar and a perfect double bottom, just go long there. These are the kind that sometimes will take off and run straight up, but it does, but it only goes back to the what ends up being the midline and it turns down again. And there's actually a little shorter term trend line working up through there. And we try to go lower again. And this is the only reason I didn't like this setup here. I probably should mark this one green. I think I will go ahead and mark it green. But the reason I didn't like it, let me change this and we'll talk about it. The reason I didn't like it is because you got this bar, then an inside bar, then another inside bar to this one, and then another one that's inside that bar as well. So it's about 4 bars in a row, and this is really bearish, so that makes it a lot more tempting. And we you're looking for a retest to the high after this channel, and you just don't get it. But that's such a big bearish reversal bar that if you're paying attention and you want to be a little bit more aggressive, I'm okay with taking that one. But I honestly don't like it because of all the overlap and the fact that none of those bars can get outside of this bar right here. Notice this one's inside it, this one's inside it, and even this big bearish one is inside it. So, and it's right in the EMA on both sides. It's just there's too big a chance this goes a tick lower and then turns higher, and then goes a tick higher and then turns lower. So I think you're better off to wait. And it drops down real quick, and it makes a break lower here, and it gives you a little bitty bar, reversal type bar. It's a good bit away from the EMA, so the odds are it's going to come back there even if it's going to go lower. So I like that one for a long. This is a range day. You can swing both ways, long or short. And notice you did have a break here and a couple of legs down to a new low. So a lot of reasons to like that one. And then it pulls back, and you get your trend line right off those first couple of bars and right off that high. Again, just like here, this almost looks like a repeat move up, just a little bit tighter channel than this other one. And then it tries to go lower and fails, gives you a nice bullish bar. Just go long there, and again, you're looking for it to come back up here. And it comes back and it pulls back. And notice this is a set. Now, even though on this chart, this is like a third entry long, this is one leg right here. There's 2 legs in this first leg, and then there's a correction, and there's another equal leg. And if you measure those, there's leg 1, and there's leg 2. It's a perfect measured move. There just happens to be 2 legs in the first leg and only 1 leg in the second one. So I like that one. You figure prices, you're going to make a new high, and you figure you're probably going to test this, and this turns out to be a really good trade. And then it just gets kind of choppy looking, and we're making lower highs and lower lows, and there is a failed second entry long right there, but everything's still above the EMA. We did break through the high. There's not a very good short. I was looking more to go short here at this point, but there's no good short setup. Even though there is a little bit of a trap there, it's not a very good setup, because a lot of times we'll come back and test this one more time, and we did, and it looked like we were going to go short here, but again, there's a new low. That's just a first entry, and there's a lot of overlap here, and the EMA is kind of flat. So I think you're just better off to sit all this out and see what happens. You did end up missing a good long here, but this is where you have to be patient, and sometimes you have to watch trades go without you that turn out to be good trades because they're just not a good setup, and they're just not a good setup in there. Nothing that I like other than maybe going long right there, and that is awful risky going long right into that strong resistance right there because too many times it'll break up a tick or two and then turn down. But this time it goes a little higher, and it's tempting to go short there, but I would wait on another on the second move, and then you get a big bearish reversal bar. It does go a tick higher. This is still like a double top on a failed breakout, and that one tick higher actually makes it stronger than an equal double top. And close on this very low. Again, it's way away from the EMA. It's like a reversal of this trade right here. So I like going short right there, and that one paid off well. And then you get another second entry short here. This one didn't quite close on its low, but look how the closes are lower than that one. The high, it's a lower high. It is a second entry, and so I like that one too. And this one turns out to be a pretty good trade. You could have ridden this one all the way down, and that got you into the 2 o'clock hour. So pretty good day. Um, you just had to be a little bit patient through this stuff here when you reach the highs. And you just never know what prices are going to do here. But the odds are, even if they break higher, they're going to come back inside the range, at least, even if not only temporary, before they go higher. And that's just the way range days are. And the best trades are really getting long off the lows or short off the highs. And really from about 9:30 right in here, this was kind of an upward bias move up here until we finally had the little trap and then a lower high right here. And so really we just got another typical kind of range day that we've been seeing a lot of lately. And the market's just kind of in limbo, it seems, until maybe something changes with the economy or the interest rates or something. It seems like we're going to have to get a jolt to kind of get us moving in one direction or the other, because we've been hovering around 2100 for a while now. We've been going down in the 2060s and 70s and then going up into the 2160s, and I think we've been as high as, I'm trying to remember, 2160 or so, if I'm not mistaken. So, but anyway, that's what I saw today. Just a kind of a typical run-of-the-mill day we've been seeing, but that's what'll happen. So be real careful on these days. You'll see this day every day for a month, and it'll be very similar like this. Then all of a sudden, it'll start out like this one morning, and then suddenly, boom, it's taken off to the high side, trending, or the low side. So don't let it lull you to sleep. Just always be, um, just always be aware and thinking that something different can happen. Uh, don't let it lull you to sleep. That's the bottom line, really. So, um, yeah, not much more you can say about today. I mean, there's not much more you can say about range kind of days except just be careful. Don't buy the highs and don't sell the lows, and that's the best advice I can give you. And until something changes, that will continue to be the message each day, really. So. But I'm not going to waste any more time. No sense in dragging this video out. That's about it for the day. So I'm going to wrap it up. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow. This is Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.